Hey guys, so this is another still good video. This time is for Francis and Lynn. So I decided to put these two together because both have pretty much the same role, which is dispellers, but in different situations. However, now that we have to actually have to deal with making 6 freaking teams for a Alliance Summit, yeah, we have to make sure to use all the tools in our disposal in this situation. And Dispellers is definitely a very important tool to take into account, guys. So let's talk about Francis real quick here. So, Slow Speed deals 204% damage to all enemies for 6 hits, pretty nice. Dispels all buffs from them, deals 102% extra damage to weaker elements for 6 hits. He also gives the faction buff for church heroes of attack and defense by 25%, which is nice for him. If he's the only hero on your team that has this, this is nice, because that's going to help him survive even more. So for his awakenings, the +1, it's gonna cut off mana by 20, which is nice for him since he's low. +2 is the usual 10%. And the +3 is decreases mana required to cast skills by 10 after casting a skill up to 20. So in total, you're gonna have 40 in mana less for him to go off, so, which is amazing, which is really nice for a 4-star. Really, really cool stuff, guys, because with the Speller, you want him to go off as much as possible. And the +2 is the same as +4. So I'm gonna jump in right now with Lynn as well here. Lynn is pretty much one of the very, very few dispels in red, so she's pretty important in this color for sure. Differences: ability, Death Waltz, fast speed, attacking the enemies, and 3 additional random enemies. Okay, attacks enemies and 3 additional random enemies, dealing a total of 320% damage. Each attack dispels all the target's buffs. For every unique target hit, restores 16% of the mana as caster. So this is pretty cool. So every single buff she eliminates, she's gonna get the mana, and she's going to do all that. But the thing is that since it's random, it's not so, it's not like the very best choice in general in the game. But red has so very few dispellers, and the other dispellers that you have to have them at +5 in awakening. So yeah, no, it's probably better to have just Lynn here. So her awakenings, real quick here, +1 has 25% chance to increase base attack by 100% for each turn begins. This I've never really seen Lynn do any damage at all, so this is not really round for her. +1 is the usual 10%. +3 has 25% chance to guarantee the attack of this turn to be critical when each turn begins. Again, I've never seen Lynn do a bunch of damage. If they ever awaken her weapon, which I don't think I have her weapon, let me check real quick here. If they ever awaken her weapon, oh, I do have it, really nice. That's probably going to change a lot. She's probably going to do a lot more damage, or who knows? That's going to be pretty cool for her. So the main thing is about Dispellers in Summit. You have to have a Dispeller on your team. If you have, for example, right here, I have Elmas as my Dispeller, and if my team depends on my enemies to not share damage, so this team is usually countered with a damage share. For example, Luna's counters are extremely powerful, and you could say that it's single target, pseudo single target, but when it's damage shared, it's not really good. So you need a Dispeller on a team like this. If it's a team with hard hitting heroes that hit only one target at a time, you need a Dispeller on defense. That is 100% important here, guys. And usually you're gonna put them on the left side, like usually it's gonna be like this. So this way, the Dispeller activates first. I already spoke about this on my defense instructional video, but I'm going to give you a refresher here. Here, the Dispeller goes off, he dispels the entire enemy team, and then the other ones start activating and doing straight up damage as they're supposed to. Because remember that on defense, heroes activate from left to right. Now, for Alliance Summit, we have to build 6 freaking teams, guys. So what are we gonna do now? Because yeah, so I'm already using Elmis on my first team, but what about my other team? So in that situation, let's imagine that Elmis is in another team, so I'm gonna straight up use Francis here instead of him. He's not gonna be as good of a dispeller as Elmis, but he will do the job. He will do the job, especially with Alia there, because he will get the mana from Alia there for sure. Or Lynn in that situation. So that's very important to know, guys. When you're setting up teams in Alliance Summit, you have to make sure to have the roles ready. If your team is full of heroes that do a lot of AoE damage to the entire team, and it doesn't matter if it's damage share, the only hero that is damage share that will counter that is Isadora. But I mean, how many Isadoras can you have? You know. So if you have a lot of AoE on your team, you don't need to have a dispeller. But in general, it's good to have a dispeller and on the left side. It's a good rule of thumb to build a good team for Summit there. So this is the main reason, guys. Making sure to have all your tools and your disposers and your dispellers are super important to have there. So when you're doing a Alliance Summit, just make sure, please, guys, make sure to not do this. Level 1 weapons. No, do not do this. Under no circumstance make... I don't care how strong you think you are. Do not put level 1 weapons. Just follow my tips on the life hack videos. Make sure you have enough gold. Make sure that you have use the shop to get the mats to be able to get the mats to upgrade the weapons. But do not, under any circumstances, put level 1 weapons. You will need energy weapons, but you're not gonna... No, not level 1, guys. Please don't do that. I saw an army of people doing this on the last summit. So, no, don't do that, guys. Alright, I'll be doing an actual instructional video for teams for Alliance Summit this weekend, guys. But make sure to prepare. You will need a lot of gold and a lot of weapons to be able to pull this off. Alright, thank you very much for watching, guys. Have a great day. Bye-bye.